Good morning, everyone. Not sure if we'll have anyone join us. It's back to work day for a lot of people, but I wanted to share a couple of things. I am going to use some products from Dollar Tree. I'm going to make two different hearts. I'm going to slide back a little bit so you're not just seeing from here up. I am going to use one of their peel and stick fake tin tiles. I am going to use a wooden heart. I'm going to use one of their little dabbers, and I'm going to use some paint that I picked up. This is Folk Art Home Decor Chalk paint, and it is called Cottage White. I normally like the Waverly, but they didn't have the Waverly where I was at, so we're going to go with the Folk Art, which is also a good brand. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera down so you can see my workspace. And I hope everyone had a great new year. My word for this year is joy. I don't do resolutions. And I just wanted to bring joy to everyone's life this year and bring joy to my life. So hopefully my crafting brings some joy to you. What I have done, I laid the heart on the tile. I marked around it with a marker on each, all the way around, and then just cut it out. Freeform hearts are not something I'm good at. I'll get one side, one size, and one another. Let me see if I can get this. Okay, there we go. So what I did was, once I cut it out, I painted it. I guess I should turn it this way so you can see that it's a heart. I painted it with another folk art brand, Imperial. It's number 6438. It's a matte red. And the reason I chose that matte red was because it matched one that I've already made, a soft cushion type one for 3D, I guess I should say. I cut out a heart and on duck cloth and filled it with fiberfill after I decorated the fabric with our ink. And I'm going to make a second heart today, a fabric heart, to show you how easy that is as well. So what I'm going to do, and what did I do with my heart? I put it somewhere. There it is. So you don't have to be great to do these. Okay, what I'm going to do is, and my glue gun is not heated. I guess my battery ran out and I turned it on earlier. Hold on while I get another battery. Plug this one in so it can recharge. And rather than hold up the video while my glue gun heats up, I'm going to go ahead and start decorating this a little bit more. Now I like it being red, but I wanted to highlight some of these raised areas, because you can see that it is a multiple dimensional item. So I'm just going to move this to the side. I really wanted to do it on the wood because it would be easier, but we're going to improvise, and that's what crafting is all about. You do what you need to do to get it done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and move my phone. Let me see if I can see if anyone's joined us on my phone. Don't know. We'll see. I'm going to watch and see. If I miss your comments, I apologize. If you're on, pop in and just say hello. Let me know where you're from. And if you like crafting. And crafting can be anything from knitting to crocheting, which I can't do. Luckily, I have a neighbor that does. I got this idea from a friend, Beth. Not Beth. I'm sorry, Beth. I'm giving you credit for something you didn't do. Peggy gave me this idea, and I love it. I'm just going to take, let me see if I can move this into the screen. I'm just going to take my little dabber and rub off the paint. I'm going to put it on, I've got a paper plate that I use for all sorts of things, and I'm just going to dab it to remove some of the extra. And then all I'm going to do is just go over some of these larger areas to give it a little bit of a highlight. And again, I wanted it red and white, not all red. You could leave it all one color, but I'm just dragging it over these areas, as you can see. One of my fellow creators, Heidi, who does DIY Dreaming or Magnolia Dreaming, taught us that we should make a craft first before we try to do it live. Well, I believe living life on the edge, and I have not created this one yet, so we'll see how it goes. When Peggy did it, it looked simple enough, so I thought, well, I'm going to try it too. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of highlighting the raised areas. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something you like. So again, I'm going to dab it so that it doesn't get too much paint on it. And I'm going to work down at this end. I'm glad I didn't hold you up because the heat gun is just now getting warm. And you know, I use a cordless heat gun because I'm not really coordinated enough to work around cords. But what I like about it is it's just so easy to use, and I have an extra battery, so when the one battery is not charged or it's more, you know, gone down, I can grab a second battery real quick and keep going. I've tried using electric ones, and I just end up challenging myself with those. So I went ahead and invested in one of these. In fact, it was something I had my husband get me for Christmas one year. There was a conversation about how you pronounce the name of it. This is what it looks like. I know it's backwards on your screen. But there's a conversation about, does it do Ryobi or Ryobi? And I have always called it Ryobi. Well, I was speaking to someone that actually works for the company, and they made the comment that they received a letter from the manufacturer of it that said, no, it is not Ryobi, it is Ryobi. So I'm going to try to train myself to pronounce it correctly and call it Ryobi. Okay, what do you think it's looking like so far? I think the white just adds so much more to it. And of course, as I'm talking and dabbing, I may miss some spots, so help me if you see something. Has anyone joined me yet? I don't see any comments. I'm not sure. And I'm debating whether I'm going to use this as a shelf sitter or if I'm going to hang it, because it does, the wooden heart came with a burlap cord on it, or twine, and I want to make it a little bit fancier, so I might do a beaded garland or something on it to hang it. And if I do, I'll show you the finished product in a photo below. So I think I've got enough on it. I don't want to overdo. So, whoops, I found another spot. I love these tiles because they're so easy to use. So let me ask you, do you make resolutions or do you have a word for the year? If you use a word, please paste it below or comment below. Doesn't that look nice? That sure looks a lot different than that. And just painting this. So I think my glue gun is hot enough. Hopefully I can pick up the part and not get it messed up. Let me close my paint so I don't knock that over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put some glue around the edge. You know, I watch people online do glue, and they do nice straight lines, and I don't always manage to do that when I'm doing it. They're kind of lopsided and not quite as smooth as the others are. I'm just doing it around the edge. And then I'm going to do some in the middle. Okay. So let's see if I can line it up properly. I want to make sure the wood on the bottom is there. Okay. Try to mash down where the paint is not. Oh, I just saw another place that I missed over here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I think I've got it on there. So, what do you think? All right. And now, do you think that I should take red and white beads as a hanger? Or do you think I should just leave it as a shelf sitter to go with the other heart that I created? Which is this one. All right, I'm just trying to coordinate the red and whites throughout the house. Okay. And then I will probably do the bead, but please comment down below and let me know which one you think I should do. All right, I'm going to set this to the side and let the paint dry. And I'm going to do another craft. Okay, this one I have taken duck cloth and I've just cut a square. This one is 18 by 10.5, which is just a size that was available on my thing that evened out something. So what I'm going to do is I'm folding it in half, and I'm folding it in half again. Okay, try to get it into the center. I'm going to move my stencil, and then I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and freeform a heart. Now again, my hearts are not perfect, but because I've got it folded, I can do the front and the back of the heart at the same time. They'll be the same size. So on the fold side, I'm going to start cutting. I'm going to start down at the bottom, and I'm just going to go out. And heaven knows how big it's going to be and how it'll look when I get it open, but we'll see. Now, if you're not good with freeform, you could draw a heart or use a template to draw a heart, the half of it, and then cut it. Okay. I'm getting there. If you've not joined me live and are watching the replay, go ahead and comment replay and tell me what you like best about January. Is it that the Christmas decorations are put away and the house is getting back to normal? Or is it because of snow? Okay, I'm going to open it up, and there's my heart. And again, I've got two sides. Okay, so I'm going to take one side and lay it to the side. I am going to take a piece of trash paper. You can see where I've done other items on this. This is just packing paper that I've reused. And then I'm going to stencil on it to give me a design. Rather than buying duck cloth in all the different prints and colors, it's easy just to buy the white or the off-white and create your own design. Now I'm going to use the Lace Flowers and Berries stencil. And this is a new stencil. I have not used it yet. Normally, when I'm chalking, I will defuzz or fuzz the stencil on my taffy towel. But since I'm working on fabric, I don't have to do that. So I'm just going to lay this to the side. And what I like about our stencils, they're so easy to get off of the backing, is you just take your finger, put it on the edge, and roll it down. Now, also, I always pull from the center so as not to stretch the stencil. And what I love is when you buy a stencil, you have all the directions on the stencil itself. So if you forget something, it's right there and tells you how to do it. All right, and since it's going on cloth and I don't have to fuzz it, I am just going to place it over, whoops, not far enough down, a little bit lower. We'll just do it right in the middle. That way I know I've got it covered. And I'm just going to smooth it down on the fabric. Okay. So that was easy, right? Okay. Now, because I used the same color ink on my other heart, I'm going to use the same one. Now, this is chalk ink, not chalk paste. It has the white lid. And this is called Ruby Red. And it says permanent ink, and believe me, it's permanent. So I'm just going to take the lid off and show you how very simple it is to make my own fabric design. You know, and I want to thank Heidi for giving me the idea. When I talked to her when we were in Charlotte together last year at our celebration event, she told me about her stuffies, and I had not seen them. And since then, I have made several stuffies, which I love. Okay, all I'm going to do is dip my squeegee in the ink and put it on my stencil. Now, one thing I will share is that when you're doing ink on a stencil, you want to wash it immediately. You don't want to leave it sit. On chalk, you can leave it for a minute or two, but as soon as you're done with the ink, go ahead and wash it or put it in a tub of water, which is what I'm going to do today. I love this pattern. I had seen it where one of my other co-creators, Arlene, had done, and she made several things with it. In fact, I think she did the front of one of our book stacks with it, and it just looks so great. So, of course, I had to order one too for me. Of course, it's been in my stash because I've not found the right thing I wanted to use it on yet, but I'm doing that today. And again, this goes on so nice and easy. You don't have to push it in. You just want to make sure you get all of the areas covered. You know, the name of my page is Your Time to Sparkle. What do you feel makes a person sparkle? Do you think it's their personality? You think it's their generosity? You think it's just the smile that lights up their face? You know, my great-granddaughter, and great-grandson both have, one's going to be 5 in February, and the other one's going to be, well, he's probably 9 months old now. When they smile, their face just lights up. Do you know someone that has a great smile that lights up and actually extends to their eyes? Sometimes people smile and it's just a cursory smile, and it really doesn't mean as much. So let me know if you have someone, and just give us their first name, or share this video with them and tell them how you were thinking of them when I was talking about people that smile. Okay, I've got it all covered. I'm going to lay my squeegee over to the side and cover up my ink. And this is the peel, reveal, and squeal portion. I'm going to go ahead and peel it. And it kind of stuck to my paper, so I should have used a different type of paper, I think. All right, come on. Get it started on the corners and peel from the center. I wish I hadn't stuck it on that paper as much. Hold on while I get this off so I can put it in water. And it's time to squeal, because look at the beautiful design that I've created. So once this dries, which it has not dried, and you can see it all on my fingers now. Once it dries, I will glue it just by going around the outer edge of the heart with the glue, put the face part down on it, and then I will stuff it, and it'll be the same thing as the one that I had. So if you find a pattern that you like, one of our stencils, feel free to make your own cushion, your own stuffy. It is so easy to do. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it brought you a little bit of joy. And that is it for today. Again, if you're watching this on replay, please comment replay. If you care to share it with another friend, please do so. And again, make sure you let that person know that you thought of, that their smile lights up their entire face. Let them know that you were thinking of them. Thanks all, and bye.